Other partners have embarked on a journey aimed at enlightening the complex challenges that are affecting the rights of women in Uganda, surpassing both the digital and the offline monarchies. Now, this as Sandra Cheng, the Executive Director of WOUGNET, shared a light on the Our Voice, Our Future project that is intended to address these issues.
1/3 of Ugandan women have experienced gender-based harassment online, according to a new report released by policy organization on the internet experiences of women in African countries. The most common type of online gender-based violence experienced in Uganda is sexual harassment, accounting for 42% of respondents, followed by offensive name-calling 24% and stalking 17%. While the internet enables people to access knowledge, conduct business, and connect with others, it is also proving to be a dangerous place for women, since social media is used as a new way to reinforce old systems of oppression and violence. Recent reports suggest that gender-based violence as a whole is only getting worse during the COVID-19 crisis. Now, in efforts to address the vice, Women of Uganda Network WOUGNET has initiated Our Voice, Our Futures, OVOF, a project aimed at shedding more light on how the vice can be completely eradicated. Sandra Cheng, the Executive Director of WOUGNET, elaborates.
So a recent report by Uganda Bureau of Statistics, UBOS report in 2022 reveals that 92% of women in Uganda have experienced harassment on social networking sites, emphasizing the urgency to address these challenges. And our aim is to promote and support the use of ICT by women and women's organizations in Uganda. And we do this by empowering them to effectively address both the national and local challenges in sustainable development.
Sandra says OVOF project, a global South-led consortium, is focusing on amplifying the voices of physically silenced women in 6 focus countries, including Uganda.
So the project is in 6 focus countries, including Uganda, and it's a consortium that comprises of organizations. We recognize the important challenges faced by structurally silenced women, the groups or persons in this region, and the selection of Uganda as one of the focus countries reflects the consortium commitment to making a meaningful impact.
In her remarks, Acheng further notes the organization's commitment to the sub-objective of ensuring that all silenced women in Uganda can actively, safely, openly, securely, and freely participate across legal and policy advocacy spaces, physical public spaces, and online spaces to demand their rights.
We believe that when women's voices are heard and amplified, they can articulate, they can demand, and they can access their human rights. Again, women's rights are human rights, and this fosters gender equality.
Speaking at the same gathering, Carol Nyangoma, the Executive Director, Warm Hearts Foundation, expressed concern over high incidents of violence meted against women in the cyberspace.
So all these are negative social norms that finally translate into online gender-based violence. So when I'm asked about how do these social norms affect online violence, first and foremost, when we believe that men are providers, when we believe that it's women to do the house chores, then we actually get them too busy to the extent that they are not able to take part in some of these engagements. And that gags them, that silences them, that makes the issues of women be misrepresented on online spaces.
The President could also bear witness that women, young people, and other people in certain sectors are usually the target for some of this online violence. And I'd like to highlight a report by Policy that showed the impact of online violence on women that were participating in elective politics here in Uganda, in South Africa, and Kenya.
The first step to you being able to understand how to use the digital world or digital applications and all. Can we have digital literacy for the different groups of women?
Meanwhile, Tony Ayina, Programs Officer, National Union of Disabled Persons of Uganda, NODIPO, has emphasized the need to construct inclusive systems that will accommodate all kinds of people if the struggle is to make meaningful impact.
Online violence, we are going to validate our ICT policy, the one with the phones and the one with smartphones, the one who can access computer, and this one we are going to share it with the Ministry of Gender to help inclusive programming parties. When you go, for example, in our economic empowerment programming, 60% of the beneficiaries should be persons with a disability. The other 40 should be persons without disability.
However, there has so far been a lack of robust data about how women experience gender-based violence online in Africa, and without any data, digital platforms and legal systems can ignore the issue. But now more information on the seriousness of the problem is coming to light. Josephine Mutesi, John William Ogenda for BTM News Today.
Very many thanks, Josephine Mutesi, for compiling that report. Now, the Forum for Democratic Change Party, FDC, has